Hi, this is Dermot Kieran, and I'm here to show you something you have never seen before. It is called Facebook Sportscaster. With Facebook Sportscaster, I can broadcast professional and college sports scores to your Facebook page with or without an advertisement in real time. And I bet that you have never seen this before. At this time, we can broadcast the professional games, the live scores of baseball, basketball, football, and at this time, hockey. We're working on creating the broadcast for soccer at this time. And for college teams, we can broadcast the NCAA men's basketball, which means you can have the March Madness games broadcasted on your Facebook page, as well as the NCAA football, which is just over. Let me show you some examples. Now, here's an example for a site I administer, McLadden's Irish Pub. Now, as you see, there's no advertisement, but the last broadcast that was broadcasted was Florida 75, Ole Miss 71. Florida wins again, and that's 17 in a row. You have the ability to put anything you want on the last score of the game, as well as broadcasting either the score that the team that you're favoring or the other in the broadcast. And it shows that I've skipped a few broadcasts, so it wouldn't broadcast for every score, but you have that ability to make that adjustment. So here's the scores as they came through on Facebook. And normally during the game or right after the game, I delete the scores, but I wanted to show you this for example. So there's an example of a sports bar that uses the program. Now here's a page I set up. Attention Wichita State fans. There's 441 people that like it, and those people just came on board the last week and a half. Here's an example where the last score where they played Missouri State and won their 31 games straight. The final score was Missouri State 45, Wichita State 68. Wichita State wins. We are undefeated. March Madness is here. And I advertise a little T-shirt right below that because you can put a link below the scores, and if they chose, they can click that as well. What you can use for your place is you can put a link to your site. Obviously, they can buy a special or have some type of advertisement, but again, that's up to you. It's not required. You can have just the scores broadcasted like this. And now here's another example. I set up a Syracuse fans team 2 weeks ago, and as you see, 2,400 people have liked it in the last 2 weeks. And again, there's feedback, there's people that are talking, and again, as the scores come live, I'm able to broadcast those for the fans. Now on this page, this is how I set up my jobs for you, and here's an example for Wichita State. So I come into my job list, I'd add your page or your page to my administration files, and here's the example for Wichita State. So I click Edit, and this is the data that goes in. Alright, so this is how it works. The first thing I would do is I would select your page. You would click me as a friend, and I would administer your page. However, you have the passwords, and we would do this on a month-to-month basis. So in this case, Attention Wichita fans, that's the page that I set up. And of course, you can select the sport. As I mentioned earlier, you have baseball, basketball, professional football and hockey league, as well as for college, the college football scores, and right now the NCAA men's basketball going into March Madness. So that's what we're selecting for this for the scores. And then you select the team. In this case, it's the Wichita State Shockers. And that's the team I selected. And so you get to write below the scores what you'd like printed. Now, when the Shockers, if that's your team, scores, you can write anything you want. In this case, I said Shockers score, and above that would be the score for both teams. If you choose to have both teams broadcasted, then in this case, when Missouri scores, I wrote down Missouri State scores. Come on, defense. And then at the end of the game, Whoever wins, you can have a broadcast. In this case, Wichita State wins. We are undefeated. March Madness is here. You saw that. However, if Missouri won, then you'd say something about them. Missouri wins. We're still 30-1, which would have been their cases. Congratulations to WSU. Now let's go to the Final Four again because they went last year. Now there's a default text when there's not a score, but ESPN puts out a notice, and you can put anything there you like. I've written click like if you want to see the real-time scores for the Shockers during March Madness. So every time someone likes your page, they will see the scores broadcasting. Now, you can put a link. I can put a link there below the scores so you can advertise something, or it can be just blank, as you saw with McLadden's Irish Place. And now the last choice is that you don't have to broadcast every single score. You can skip posts. So in this case, I skipped 3, and that gives a little space between the posts. But again, according to your fans, people may like the post more often or less often. And when that's submitted, it goes into the queue, and the game's all set up. So with that, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you'd like to have a free trial for the Sports Broadcaster. And what I found, as you saw at the Syracuse fans, people were very, very happy to receive the scores. And there's a lot of interaction on my site because they are getting live sports scores on their Facebook with Facebook Facebook Sportscaster. Send me email if you have an interest, and I'll be glad to check back with you right away. Thank you very much.